Okay, folks, welcome to this match here. Ralph Eckert from Germany, Vann Corteza from the Philippines. This is Bobby World Pro Chamberlain, along with
Alex
Alex.
Borokovich.
Hi, Alex.
How
How
are
are
you
you doing?
guys? Good, good.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Alex, where you live at now?
I shuttle between New York City and Florida.
Oh, well, that's a lot of travel.
Yeah, but it's all right. I mean, I get to see my friends on the way, and this is my like one of my trips. So I decided to include this tournament and play in the international nine ball as well.
Okay, this is
So
good to have you.
let's have some fun.
All right, Ralph Eckert won the lag. He has elected to let Vann Corteza break. And this is the opening break to start the match. In your opening break, you want to try to hit the corner ball and go 4 rails without disturbing many balls and leave the guy as long as you can.
Let me see the number on the top of your head.
And we're also looking through the pack here to see if he has any type of shots before he tries to play a safety. If he doesn't have any shots, then he's either going to have to thin to 2 and come up table, or thin to left side of 13 and come up table. He has called the 2 ball out of the pack here. Alex, very risky shot here, hitting this many balls. Wow, he came with a good one. Very nice shot. Looks like he might be forced to play a combo from the beginning. Okay, folks, so we're back live here, okay? In case you missed it, Ralph played a 4-ball combination out of the pack off the opening break. And then had to play a combo, and he's off. Yeah, pretty simple. It looks like he's going from the 6 to the 7. He's going to have to make a decision here eventually to go into the 8 and 4 to establish some pockets for these balls. The 15 is in a nice place for a break ball, so I'm thinking he'll leave the 10 as the last ball before the 15. Well, I was wrong. It looks like he may leave a bottom ball for a break ball. He's selected to shoot the 15, so now he's going to shoot the 11. He's going to draw into the... Well, he's going backwards again. Alex, what do you see he's going to leave for a break ball now? It looks like the 9 ball's a little high.
Well, he just has to position it a little off, closer to the rail. He can still run into it pretty good. Even maybe 3 ball is even in the right spot.
Well, the 7 ball
It's
is in
a
a good
tough
spot, and he elected to get rid of that one too. So now he's got to go from the, looks like from the 4
Has
to...
to take care of these 2 on the rail.
Well, he's got to go
first,
from the
right?
4 all the way up to the 10 and back down for the 8 and the 15. I mean,
It's a nice one, yeah. We will get him there.
well, I think the problem here is getting the angle to the 8 to go 2 rails to roll to the
Nice
15.
soft high ball. Yeah.
He doesn't want to fall straight on this 8 ball.
He's okay. He's a little straight.
Will we
a
see
little
13 ball played up table here?
But he needs to come long. Yeah, he used the rail. You see, that's much better. Now he has to just nice and gently roll it straight up.
I think he's going to stiff it, move out a ball to the left
Yeah.
here. Yes, so.
No, you see,
And he hung the ball.
he punched it a little. If you saw it, and what it did, it threw the ball off. That's because he also put a little English to hold the cue ball.
Right. Yeah, he's trying to force it to get a better angle at the 9. Ralph Eckert starts at 13 ball run. Vann Corteza is at the table, and Vann's another guy that doesn't seem like he's played much straight pull, but he's broke that 200 ball I run.
Is he going straight back?
Yeah, he's going to thin the ball and try to get a parallel angle to the 9.
I'm not a big favorite of that shot. I thought he was gonna use the rail and go like nice and soft, all spin, right? Catch the long rail and go 3 rails back to 9.
Well,
I know it's a lot of travel.
The problem he
and
has
stuff.
now is that the 9 is a little high, and that angle is not going to have the power on the cue ball. So he's just going to try to go into the bottom of the rack and try to hit around the 10.
There is some angle. There is some angle. He could stun it and hit the. What is that? Whatever the ball is above the 2.
Yeah, that's the 10. That's the 10.
10, right? He may
yeah.
try to hit that.
Well, he's not going to get these balls really, really free. But the idea is that he's going to bump into these balls, get into the back rail, and have a chance of getting, a half a dozen of these balls loose. As such, but I really felt he should have rolled into the rail, and that was the problem, not having the wide angle. Or not having a wider angle and closer.
He hit a little too high in the rack, right?
Yeah, he should have gone down to the bottom to the 10,
Yeah,
10 and 2
10
ball.
2. Yeah, would be.
And,
Well,
I knew he wasn't going to get about a half a dozen balls loose, which he did, but he did it from the high part of the rack.
it's his second shot in the game anyway. So.
Well, from this angle here, I mean, the only thing he can do is shoot the 11, send the cue ball back to the 11 on the side of him, play safe, or take an intentional foul, and I don't think that's going to happen.
If he has the right angle, is he frozen to the 11 or?
If he's not, he's awfully close. So I think he's going to try to put the cue ball back in the stack after making contact with the 11.
Perfect.
Yeah. Now, at this angle, there's not a whole lot to be able to doing the same shot, putting back in the stack is very difficult. So I'm predicting here there's
Maybe
a possibility of it
going up the table.
Well, you can, but the problem is they 8, 15, 14, they all go. So,
Too close.
So if he can't shoot a safety and get the ball underneath the 1, then he's going to take an intentional foul. Unless he can find a way to shoot into the 11 and stick the cue ball there and make the 13 make contact to the side rail so he doesn't make a foul.
There's an aggressive option also, where you could aggressive defensive, where you could just 2 rail to the 1 ball and hit it from and leave the cue ball on the rail. But he's gonna follow what you said, take intentional foul.
Yeah. Okay, so he's on 1, so I'm expecting here that he's going to take a foul right back, which he did. So each player is on 1 fouls and minus 1 point for each one. So when you get to the 3rd foul, there's a whole lot of things that happen. First of all, the player that fouls 3 times in a row first will have a 15-point deduction. And the incoming player has a choice to leave the balls where they are or re-rack them and have their opponent break the balls to start a new rack. Well, that's a great shot. Okay. So Ralph's off 1 foul, Vann still 1 more. but that's not going to matter now because at this point he's going to try to. Luke, what do you think he's going to play the combination here, Alex? What do you say?
I'm not sure about the combination.
He does have the two ball.
He was
table
looking
two.
at whether the 12 can go in nice, and there may be a little space there.
Oh, between the balls, you're right. Yeah.
I don't know if the combo is on.
Well, the two ball also goes up table two. That's not my favorite thing to shoot a ball the length of the table, but it can happen. But
too close.
He's going.
Too close.
He's going at it the wrong way. This 12 ball must not go straight in, and it's a tough combo.
We're looking at it
He's
at
looking at
an
playing
angle.
the 2 off the 10 in the corner. I don't think so.
He can hit it strong enough and keep the cue ball safe at the same time. There may be some space because he keeps looking at it.
Just want to jump in here for a minute. You know, first time Lee Vann Corteza actually played in a straight pool tournament, he said to me, Al, this game is too easy. He says, we play rotation 1 through 15. And he won the tournament, his very first one. Just wanted to put that out.
He did make it, right? I was looking away.
Yep, he squeezed it in there, just as you thought.
There may be some space because he keeps looking.
Banking the 8 ball here.
Are we playing one pocket or one straight pool?
You know, it's funny that you say that because, you know, great shot. You rarely
That was a monster shot.
will see a bank shot in a straight pool and even in high runs.
Yeah.
Some of my greatest achievements.
But listen,
Never banked the ball. I've run over 300 a couple of times. I never banked the ball.
in straight pool.
Yeah, never had to. I roll a little farther. He's going to have to try to shoot. It looks like you think he's going to shoot the 15 and roll up and get angle for the 6 and try to break the balls out because the one he has is insurance.
Yeah, the color. That's a 15, right? By the pocket.
Yeah. So I'm predicting 15, get an angle for the 6, break the balls out. If he gets stuck in the pack, if that happens, to be an
You could
option.
use one to break the.
Yeah,
But
this was
it's
unnatural.
easier.
He came a little higher on this ball than he wanted to. Now he's not going to be able to go forcibly into the 7.
He has to be careful because it could ricochet right into the pocket.
Exactly right.
Of
He can scratch right off that 10 ball very easy, or the 5.
Just to hold it. Okay. No, he has a 1 as an insurance.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and that's still a back cut. He also can turn around and shoot the 7 on the side. He's not looking at that right now.
Nah. Yeah, I would. It's too much.
Well, you know,
He can
sometimes
control.
reach an error. Well, they are playing all ball fouls here too.
As they should, right?
Yeah, this is why I thought that it was a very.
He
tough
one
issue.
stroked it too. Oh my God! Usually he's a lot more careful.
Well, with a experienced player like Ralph Eckert, with all these players, folks, you make a simple mistake like that, that could end up being the match sometimes. Both these players have run over 100 balls many times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're looking at a master at the table here, Mr. Ralph Eckert. And straight pool is his favorite game. And, of course, the Filipino Vann Corteza here. That's a threat around the world to any pool player. Fighting it here in the straight pool game. And just that error off, cutting that one ball in and scratching could cost him the match.
Well, that's exactly what I thought too. You know, Ralph is a very, like you said, Al, he's a very seasoned, experienced player. Straight pool is his best game. He's also wrote some books, and one of the books he's written is on straight pools.
And he missed.
Very, very abnormal that something like that would happen. Hope he didn't put the jinx on him.
Alex is back.
I think he was not very happy where he left the cue ball after he hit the rack. I think he wanted to hit more into the rack and separate more balls, but he hit only one ball, and then he had enough energy to go all up the rail. Something is in the water. Oh yeah. Well, now the table is open.
Well, I hope not. I'm a resident of the state. I'm in shock. I think both players will find their rhythm here. You don't see players at this level miss balls like this, but it's quite capable. And I think they just need to. This game is once you get through a rack or two, everything starts to fall in place, and it's still early in the match. What is concerning is it is just a race to 125. So, it's very easy if you're giving up 50 or 60, 70 balls to your opponent. You can come back, but that's not a good way to have to fight back.
Well, it's a nature of the game, and I think the players are still a little stiff in the morning. For a pool player,
Right.
12 noon is morning.
Right. I didn't like. Yeah, it is early. I didn't like this shot. I felt like he should have left that ball to lead to the 11, the 2 ball. Now he's going to be at the angle he's going to be. He's going to be forced to maybe even go up and down the table here to get to the 11. Because spinning this ball tight here to get an angle, he's going to consider the side pocket. So,
but even in the last 3 balls,
there's the problem. He's just.
Yeah.
I like going up and down because he had to worry about the side pocket. He can follow the angle that's close to straight like he did. He fell flat.
I'd rather he use that rail ball to get good on it and break the rack from the bottom.
Right. If you look back,
Yeah.
when he had an angle for the 2, he could have made these balls here and then shot the 2, and then he could have gone underneath the 11 to the side rail and get up and get toward the rail. The way he shot it, he had to be considered the side pocket coming into play.
Well, once he was left with that 3 ball last 3 balls on the table, he didn't have to go that way. He could have played position for the 11, make it, and then use the bottom rail ball.
Right.
For the break.
Yeah, the one. That was
Yeah,
right over
it
here.
was from the 11 to that ball. It was a natural.
I'm going to tell you, got on a limb and tell you what I really think happened.
Yeah.
After him having 2 misses,
Yeah.
I think he just wanted to get some balls, some points on the board, and try to build him.
No argument
and
there.
try to get loose.
Yes.
Wow.
He did the best he could on this one.
Well, he actually didn't do too bad. The only problem is there's really nothing going unless the 12 ball goes. he's going to be if the 12 ball goes, he'll shoot the 1 and try to get to the 12 now. If not,
12.
yeah, he's going to have to force it off the rail and get an angle to the 12. If not, he'll be forced to play the 14.
Yeah.
Now, the angle that we're at, I mean, it's even possible that the 8-7 off the 10 into the 15 could go, but he's going to look at where he's at here. He's a smart guy.
Nothing goes to the side, right? From the rack, like
Not unless
any
the,
combos.
not unless the 12 goes. Like I said, I predicted maybe the 8-7 off of the 10 into the 15.
It looks awfully close. 12
Yeah.
looks awfully close.
He's
but
looking at it. The 8-7 are frozen, so that ball will. I don't think he's going to hit it hard. He don't want to throw it. But if not, he's going to shoot the 14, and maybe he'll fall down to the side rail or back out to the center. This is a wide angle from anything he plans on doing.
What about the 9 ball of the 6? What do you think? Is there some possibility?
It looks really high.
Yeah, it is a little high, but he is looking at it. Yeah.
I don't know. He keeps looking back here at something maybe
3 ball?
shooting the 8-7 off the 10 into the 15, which I called earlier. Wow, what a shot!
He found it.
I thought that may had gone.
Yeah, but there's
But you know when
no
yeah.
continuation. Yeah.
Well, there's the problem. If you're going to shoot a shot that can win you many racks or even the match, you better make sure you get rewarded. There's so much chance to take there.
Yeah.
Now he's in a position. Now he's got to, find the ball that's closest to the pocket, which appears to be the 12.
Yeah.
He could possibly shoot the 8 and get movement, but that's a break ball. But there's multiple clusters here. He shoots the 12, he can end up falling flat on the back rail. Well, he's elevating, so he's trying to go into the 10 ball after shooting the 12.
It's a very aggressive shot.
Wow. Well, the 10 came back and bumped the cue ball, which really made that fortune.
Beautiful.
Now he's got the 6. He's got a dead 7 ball. He's got the 3.
I love it. I love the both shots. The both shots were very, very good.
Well, he almost puts the 10 into position. Now here's a shot here, but he doesn't have a backup. He could shoot the 7 and tap the 10 into a better break area. Just to shoot the 7, tap the 10 up a little bit, but he elected not to. So now
Don't forget there is a 4.
Yeah, the 4 looks really low. It's like it's the last ball in the rack for a break shot. It's really hard to tell what he's going to do. I mean, with the angles that we have here. Well, this is a good key ball, and that's leaving the table now.
I'll tell you, that 12 ball was a risky shot, that long distance 12. Man, he fired it in like it had ice.
I'm very impressed.
The 7-8 off the 10 into the 15 was a great one,
yeah,
too.
that one, the shot prior to that, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that from over here. I just wasn't sure that he was going to try to tackle it. When you get into this area, you don't want to bump any more balls, and I'm not sure exactly what he's thinking here to get what ball to play next. If he's coming high, or going to bump a ball like so, and that's why I was thinking that he might do. The 4 ball is down at the bottom of the rack, so I'm thinking he would get rid of this. He's going to shoot the 4, then the 5 in the side, and just take another super high break shot. So he wants to be close to straight, or parallel, not straight in. That's pretty good for a high ball. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, he can hit the top 2 balls easily.
Now he's got to be careful. Being the high part of the rack is that when he hits that top ball, like you're speaking about, it's so easy to get stuck on top of it. So what a lot of times players will do is they'll shoot this 8 ball here, and they will hit down on the ball slightly to go into the side rail and bring the cue ball back out to the center. So he's either going to hit this ball easy, hit the top ball, go one rail out, and try to put it where it's at now. Right, he's going to smash it. I don't think he's going to do anything in between.
I think he's going to hit it hard and try to hit it head on into the first ball, at least, and see if he could open up the rack that way.
Just got to be careful.
And-
When you're talking about the
yeah.
angle that he's at now, you got to really think that you got to watch the scratch in the side pocket, too. Because the ball will actually explode backwards. But let's let him. We're going to see what happens when he racks the ball and actually get a true angle of the top ball here. Are you okay, Al? Oh, well, I don't know. Alex was talking about me. I want to drink the Virginia water right now.
I'll tell you what, you know.
Wait a minute. Is there a problem drinking water from the faucet?
No, I'm just saying after we saw those guys miss 2 straight-in shots,
I couldn't believe it.
you said there might be something in
Yeah,
the
but
water.
because I had in the morning, when I took my vitamins, I used water right from the sink. And I'm trying to think. Oh, wait a minute! I'm not in the right. Am I in the right country?
What do you like here, Bobby? Do you think he's too high to get to the
Yeah,
side of the rack
well,
and get up?
what I'm thinking is he's just going to hit down on the ball and go into the top ball, which is the 4 ball, hit slightly down. Unless he goes into the 4 and 2, he's got to be careful of scratching here. Wow, he turned out much better than I thought he would. But you see the cue ball got really away from him there.
Got kissed a couple of times before.
He got
Way
fortunate to get a shot. I mean, now he's got to be looking at trying to take out the 6, the 3, the 15. I think he's looking pretty good right here, but he's going to have to eventually push a ball into a break position. I don't like him shooting the 15 and trying to go into the stack from here, though.
The 11's kind of low.
He has to reposition.
Well, I didn't like this shot either. Now he's going to have to shoot the 3 ball, and he's going to have to roll it forward 2 rails to get an angle or punch it out and get to that stripe next. As so, but yeah, again, he didn't want to get his angle, but he might be able to. Might think about drawing into the stripe and the 2 ball here as such.
It's not a big improvement.
No, he's still got a cluster, Alex, and he didn't create a break ball yet. Now he's in a position here where he's got to shoot a ball elevated. The 14, unless you see something else. Al, what do you see here, Al? One thing I see is the 14.
Yeah, 14. But what do you?
And he's going to shoot the 14 and
I'm looking. What is the break ball for that group?
Well, I don't know. He's like the half. Maybe he's going to leave the 4 ball if these balls don't get separated enough. He's going to be forced with a long shot on the next shot here. No matter what he shoots. Okay, well, he shot this ball, and he has a 7 ball that's close to being dead right now, too.
Can you tell where the 110 goes in the bottom left pocket?
It looks like it's low.
It's a little low.
And it looks like it's on the end, and then the 7 ball looks the same way, too. But he's going to break him out right here. All right, now look at this. Now he's got a 1 ball in perfect position, but he tied up the 9 and the 5. He's going to be looking to try to find a way to get to those balls. He's going to be forced to cut the 5 ball in. He's got to get from a wide angle and then using something to get back to the 9. So I like going 10-5, then go to the bottom rail and go 13-9-2. Or 13-2-9, and then finish with the 1 ball breakout. So attack the 5 here.
Now it's the good time, because he has 2 insurance balls.
So he needs to go back from the orange ball to the orange stripe ball here, as such. Now he's got some options, but the best option that he can have really would be to play position for the 2 ball here, because he don't want to disturb the 1. The last thing he needs to do is hit this 1. So I would come up and try to fall short of the 2 ball. And then
I think he was hoping that he could get from 15 to 9 to save.
I don't like going up table here.
Not at this point. No.
Yeah, I mean, to play the 9 up table, I like getting an angle to the 2, and if you fall straight, you draw back. If you're not, you play 3 rails with a cue ball and go to the 9. As such, now you're going to be in a position where you're going to fall this. Now, the only thing he doesn't want to do in shooting this is get straight on the 9. He's got to have this ball bounce off the rail about 5 or 6 inches. And that is really, that's perfect.
That's good.
I like that.
Now you can take it easy. Nice.
Now you want to get straight in line with the 1. He's Remember I told you, Alex, I thought that he needed to just pocket some balls and get loosened up. What do you think? I think he
Perfect.
did. I think he did good there.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember if he always had this pace, or he's faster now than he used to be.
I think
in
that he's
previous-
forcing himself to shoot fast because to try to get loose.
Okay.
For some reason, he's just. I don't think these guys at this level have nerves, but it just takes them a little time. You mentioned something. This is early in the morning for these guys. They're not used to playing this early, and that was a good point. But these long races and these long round-robin tournaments, you got to play so many matches. It can be an endurance test a little bit. All right, now here comes a smash. He should hit these with pretty good force. And, it's something that amazes me. Of all the years I've played straight pool, only people I ever see that draw the ball as much as they do into the rack are the Germans.
Right.
They love drawing the balls into the rack and drawing all the way back up the table. Now, the good thing about that is the only thing you have to worry about is a scratch. You're not going to be tied behind a ball because the ball's going to the back rail.
Yes.
But
there's some what do you call it? Logic to the madness.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You have to have a good stroke too, to really do this kind of impact, get enough speed. Because if you don't hit it hard enough, it's gonna get stuck on that high rail, and that's it. And then
yeah, I agree. Well, see, in the Germans are known for hitting the racks with a lot of draw. Now, the best player here in the last 2 decades has been Torsten Homan, by far and large, and I call it the Thorsten smash. He really smashed the rack.
And he always drew to the center of the short rail, and always very effective. Very.
Well, he's got to somehow get to this green ball, the 6 ball, to be able to have some movement here with these balls. He's not going to shoot the 8 now. He could, but I really think he needs to shoot the 6 now and leave the 8. The 10 ball's in position. You don't want to move the 10 here, because that's a break shot. All right, so just a perfect angle where he didn't have to hit the balls hard. He looks good now, Alex. What do you think his key ball is going to be? You think it's going to be the 14 or the 9? That he's going to leave before the 10.
What is that?
No.
15?
I think that. Well, I mean, I think the 10 ball, the 10 is going to be
good.
a break shot.
10 is good.
All right. Well, what he did was, I like to do that too, playing the game, is bump a ball near the side to leave it as a key ball before you get to the last ball, and he did exactly that. Now he does have one issue here that we didn't pay attention to: the 5 ball.
He'll get to it. Maybe through the 12.
Well, I was thinking that he would go right here. He would go 15, 11, 9 up table for the 5, and then 14, 10. So there's the 15. Here comes the 11. He's going to draw back slightly, a little wider than where the cue ball's at now. And then he's going to move the cue ball up to get to the 5. No, he's changed around now, so he's going to go for the 14.
Just let me jump in real quick. We're going to have Alex Brokovich step out so he can have his lunch, and Dawn Hopkins is actually going to sit in the booth. Thank you so much,
Alex, thanks for your knowledge.
Yeah. Oh.
We'll meet again.
Happy.
Okay, well, here's the 5 ball I was talking about. So he's going to have to get an angle here to get to the 11. And from this angle here, he won't be hitting any high balls. So he's going to hit some bottom left, come out 2 rails, and try to get parallel to the 10. And while he's doing that, folks, we want to welcome Dawn to the booth. Hello, Dawn.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hi, everybody at home.
We have a special guest. It's so good to see her. And she's actually playing in the women's division. And Dawn, you play tomorrow to start?
Yes, we start tomorrow at 10 a.m. is the players' meeting, and then
Great.
we'll have noontime matches.
How excited are you to
I
be the
am.
first American straight pool event for the ladies?
Super excited. I'm so thankful to Jerry and all of the staff here to put this together because we haven't played straight pool since probably the New York Straight Pool Championships back in, I think, the early 90s.
Yeah, I think the last, well, I don't know. I got to see Gene. That's how long ago I was. Jeannie
That's a
play.
while.
Yeah, play
'Cause
straight
that was
pool.
before then.
Yeah, I think that probably was.
I think he got a little straight on this one.
Yeah, he's forced to go 2 rails. These guys, they've missed a few balls early, and what had happened is they took a little time to get loose here to get comfortable. Ralph has found 3 dead balls in the pack already, and he's missed 2 straight-in shots, so he's all over the place right now.
Okay, well, it's a bit of pressure on them. This is a great title to win, so I'm sure they've... I noticed on some of the other tables the same thing's happening. They're not really playing great yet.
Yeah, Alex had mentioned something. These guys aren't early birds, so it's a little early in the day. I don't know. I was up this morning, went swimming in the ocean over here in Virginia Beach, and then
Oh, look at you.
it was a little cold, but
Oh, he's going to go 2 rails into this.
yeah, he's going to try to hit the 4 and 7.
Oh,
We know what happens here.
yep.
Some players will like to shoot into the area of the 13 and just stick it here and put a ball on the other side. I like hitting the back of the rack and going back into it. So he might shoot the 13 or 11, just stick there and get a ball to a rail. Well, that's an intentional foul. If that ball doesn't hit, that is a foul. Now, what do you think here he should do? He can take a foul right back.
Well, yeah, because you've got, the ball down below and then the 9 ball. So really, he doesn't have a good place to push it.
Yeah, and he can't hit a ball and go back into the pack. So they're both going to be on 1 here. When a foul occurs, folks, they do lose one point, which is not a big deal. The big deal is going to happen, Dawn, if there's a 3 foul in a row here.
Right.
And with a little bit of lead, he's at 55 balls. It's possible Ralph can get the 3 and not have any concern too much.
So now the question is, does he have a good angle to be able to make a good shot, not a foul, and come back into the rack?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was thinking about myself. But, it's possible that he's going to thin this 13 and just leave him the length of the table. You know how good these players are to find dead balls. The 4 ball's a little low with going in the 3 balls here. I don't think that ball could be thrown because it's the middle ball stuck to the 3 too.
Well, I guess the question is what he's looking at now is, can he thin that? I can't see what that stripe is. It's a 14.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the right angle, though, to come 2 rails back up into the back of the rack.
I don't like leaving a single ball open at any angle, especially with these type of players. So, shooting a 13 and leaving the length of the table is the obvious shot because he is on 1 foul. He doesn't want to get on 3 and just try to leave him as long as he can and as straight as he can. Or draw it to the left rail as such.
Oh,
Be
look
the
at
right rail
that.
from
That's a
angle.
nice play. Unless there's a dead ball, unless that 4
Or in the 15 goes.
or the 15, yeah. But I liked what he tried to do, which is to make it harder for that 9 ball.
I'm going to be careful here that it looks like the 5-2-7 off the 4 can go from an angle too, but doing that you have to go into the 1, so there's just too much risk there.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of years since I've been in this room.
A lot of history here.
A lot of history.
Even as far back as, Keymaster itself is in a different building. You're the way back to Wimpy Lassiter. That's a little before your time, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a
Make sure we clear that out. It was my time, not Dawn's. Old Wimpy was from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, which is literally only about an hour from here.
What was the last year he played in the U.S. Open?
You know, I'm not really sure. I mean, we lost Wimpy in '86. We had to skip there a little bit in years where we didn't have the tournament. So, I mean, he was, he played pool the morning he died next to his pool table. So
That's a lovely story, actually.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to go, might as well go
Yeah,
near something.
I've been
doing
friends with the
something you
family
like.
for so long. You know, when I was a teenager, I was fortunate enough that he actually spoke to me and taught me some. And wow, that ball went right
Oh,
in.
man,
What a
that
great
was
right off the eight.
really good shot. Opened everything up.
Wimpy died barefoot, a pair of boxers, and a t-shirt, or tank top t-shirt, playing pool next to his pool table. What a way to go!
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, back to the pool. Not pool stories, anyway. I mean, he's going to have to try to get to this 4-ball. So that's what I see is 15, then the 4, the 7. He's got the 2 as a break shot. 3 balls a little high, but Don, every rack that he has broken, he's had his break shot a ball or 2 above the table spot, which is so unorthodox. And the last one he smashed with extreme draw and broke him wide open.
Wow. So is that by intent? He likes that break shot?
Well, you know,
Or just what he was dealt
I
with?
wouldn't think so, but he had options and he passed on them. I think what he tried to get through a rack and he shot out unorthodox after missing 2 shots. I think he was just trying to get some points on the board and get warmed up, loose a little bit, and he's certainly there. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes it off the sheet, to be honest with you. He does got a problem here with this 8-ball. That's got to get out of here before too long. We'll see how he had a break shot that was sitting right there, and he got rid of it, and then no.
So he's going to play.
Careful. You don't want to fall straight in either.
So he's going to play that.
No, he's going to play the 3-ball.
But he's saving this 8 for.
Well, the problem is if you have a break shot, you don't want to get to the 8 and have to shoot the 8 and draw around. Oh, he's even going into the 3 here. He's trying to create something here.
That's not.
You know, that's the second time he lifted his head when he shot. He should have left the break shot that was just a few balls to the right of the table spot early, and he didn't. Now this 3 actually can be a break shot. So from this angle, he might go rail first here. What do you think? And hit the 8 and try to bump into the stripe to get a shot, and then come back for a 3-ball for a break shot. It's really tough. I don't know. What do you see here?
Yeah, this whole setup is a little bit awkward because if he makes the 12, then what does he have left? He only has the combination left.
Yeah, it's actually the 11. It's hard to see on the
The
monitor
11?
from here.
Okay, I should peek around.
Well,
yeah.
it's the only stripe anyway. That's important. So he's, I don't know. Let's see what he comes with.
Yeah, he's shooting the 11.
He might end up taking a little wide cut on the 8-ball from the center of the table.
Oh, I see, and then go back and forth.
Yeah, and then if he doesn't have an angle, he might go shoot the 3 and go into the rail and try to hit a piece of the rack also. But that 3 is really high. It's high.
This is tough.
That's exactly what I thought. And he just have to shoot a 3 and go to the pack. But Don, with this high shot here, I mean, when the balls are racked, you're going to see what he's going to have having to do. I mean, one thing I've always noticed is you don't want to have to use a lot of, for a right-hand player, inside English. And,
Right.
And at this, and trying to hit the rack with a little force, I mean, you've got to hit the pocket clean.
Yeah, and you got to hit it with some speed unless you just catch one of the edge balls.
Yeah, and then when you go into the 7 here, if you do, I mean, certainly you can pop the cue ball on the side. So, but the one thing he doesn't want to do is go into the 2 stripes in the center, the 12 and 13, because he certainly can get stuck.
Right.
So he's got to go into the high part of the rack or the low part of the rack. And the high part of the rack brings the side pocket into a scratch play. Let's see what happens here. He's definitely hitting the high ball.
He did that pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't get much movement, but I'll tell you what he does have. He has a dead 5 ball, possibly. So if he can get that 14 ball, if he can get to that 14 and come around for the 11 and possibly get a better angle to the 5, or maybe he can shoot the 5 now. The 4-5 combo.
Yeah, because he's got the 11 there.
Does it look like it passes the 14, don't it?
It does. It does to me.
Well, then,
Yeah, I think this is the time to play it. He's got a safety ball.
he's not going to get much movement in the rack here. But he has a chance of pushing maybe the 12 and 13 out for a break shot here if he can hit down on it kind of firm. You know, maybe draw back maybe 6 inches or something. The movement just didn't get there, but he did push the 13. Does he have a shot?
I don't think he's got a shot past the 4 to the
9
to
ball.
the 9, but he does still have that 11 ball. It's tough shooting over, and
Not a favorable shot.
no, it isn't. But
It is tough.
if he can't see the 9, then
That's it. That's all he's got. You're right. He's going to have to slow roll this 11 ball in. These are 4.5-inch pockets on the diamond, so a little more generous than some of the newer diamonds, but the cloth is fairly new, so he has a chance that he can roll this in with pocket speed, maybe still barely catch the rail. But certainly he'd want to hit it clean. I don't know what else option he has. There's no safety, so
he doesn't. I don't think he can play the 12 up the table, which would be another option. He could at least cue the whole ball, but I think the 2's in the way.
he couldn't even mass A to try to make the 9 if he wanted to either, so he's going to have to roll his ball in with pocket speed, and hopefully he's wanting to hit it clean. But if he does hit the left rail very easy with pocket speed, very close inside of an inch, his ball can fall.
Is he trying to decide whether to go down or? No,
You know, they're playing all ball fouls too. So
exactly. I was just going to say that. He's got to worry about that too, about touching that 4.
he is really elevated here. And
Very,
yeah,
very tough shot.
Yeah, I figured about an inch from the hole. It hit about 3 inches from the hole. So now Lee Vann back to the table again. He missed the 1 ball, and Ralph whipped off about 50, and Miles got open table, and he only needs another 54 to end the match.
That has to be really frustrating. You know, he made a pretty good attempt at what he was left with those 3 balls on the right-hand side. And, you know, he got a ball out and then just got stuck.
Yeah, when Ralph missed, he just didn't leave a whole lot to get into a good break shot. I didn't feel that he would get all the way to the rail to shoot the 3 ball and send the cue ball into the pack. He had to go into the rail, which lost a lot of energy. He did hit it pretty good. He just didn't hit that the top part of 7. He hit square, so.
But he had that combination, so that's really where the fault was, is when he shot the combination. That's when he got stuck. So what could he have done different in that situation? That's what he's got to ask himself.
Well, that's the thing. You got to take the table as it comes when it's left to you. Unfortunately, didn't have much. He does have the 13 here. He's got the 1 ball and the 13 balls, 2 balls to leave at the end. 13 for a break ball unless he disturbs it. The 1 ball for a key ball lead to it. The 7 ball could be a key ball to lead to it. But the first thing that he's got to do here is try to clear out some balls, and the 10 ball is important here because it makes the 6 and the 8 go. You know, he can shoot this stripe here and then come and shoot the 7 next, and then get into something. Wow, he went a little farther.
Hit that really hard. I think a lot harder than he wanted to.
He might be forced to shoot the 13 here sooner than he wants to.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Well, he has a chance to push the 2 ball over too. Unless he's going, well, there it is again. The 2 and 7 both above the table spot for break shots. I've never seen people have so many above the rack shots. But, you know, he's putting points on the board.
Well, he does have the 7 too.
Yeah, the
Seven's
7's
the-
high. Goes back where the 3 was.
Um,
You like the ball to be around a ball or 2 below the table spot at angles that you have. That's what I've found over the years. You get more movement in the racks. It's so hard to get perfect. I always think if I had ball in hand, I could place it for my break shot
Right.
with the ball that's left over. So if he had ball in hand on basically if the 4, 2, and 12 and 1 are gone, where's the best place you can put the cue ball for the 7? I mean, the 2 is really high, and there's nothing to lead to it, so that 2 ball's going to be gone.
and I think he's got to shoot that.
So you think
Pretty soon.
4, 2, 12, 1?
That's what he's going for.
Well, he fell a little bit straight
If he-
here. He's going to have to draw back to the center of the table.
Right, which is where he wants to be, doesn't he, for the 12?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, look at him. He's shooting the 1. I don't like
Very
that.
unorthodox. Yeah, right. Very unorthodox.
Well, now he's got to do. Oh, he's playing. Yeah,
I don't like a side pocket break here.
that's what he's going for.
When he shot that 2 ball, I thought he would just draw back to the center of the table like you were talking about, and then from there he's just basically straight in on the 12, roll the 1 ball on the side, take a wide shot on the rack. Very unorthodox break shots. This is about his 7th break shot and 6th at least. Nothing has been in line.
But isn't that the beauty of the game, though? Is that all these different players have different styles. They have different favorite break shot selections, ways of moving around. He might love this break shot.
Oh, I learned some. Even playing pool as long as I have, I learned something new all the time, and I haven't learned anything yet this match except for about things I would not want to do. The break shots are very unorthodox, but these balls will come apart here. He's going straight into the 7. Well, he actually hit the 5 lower. Wow.
That didn't work out too good.
What do you see here, Dawn? Oh, my
Well, not a heck of a lot. That's
Does the 15 go? Can he shoot the 15? This has got to be close.
yeah.
If he can, possibly. That's the only shot I see.
And when you're playing straight pool, for that reason, you really don't want to be shooting down to the corners like that.
Well, that was one thing that I got taught early is you got a table that's a 9-foot table. It's 8 feet 4 inches. Don't ever go past a 4-foot shot. Only go to the upper racks and when you play position up that way. Because that way, if you divide a table in half, you're only dealing with 4 feet basically of table. It makes life so much easier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When you have a chance to get rid of the balls up table, you certainly want to as early as you can. As in such games like 8-ball, the same way. If the 8-ball is, stays near the rack after the break, then certainly clear the upper part of the table first, as often as you can when it allows it. Not every rack can be like that, but well, Don, what we have here is he's down by 75 balls. And we have a very dangerous opponent that's ran over 200 many times in his day playing straight pool. He's not known for straight pool, but he's got some really good long runs, so he's used to having to string them together. At any time, any of these opponents or any of these players can string out 125, as we saw yesterday. They gave a little bonus for some high runs yesterday, high runs of the event, or even today. So they let a few players continue. We had Shane Van Boney run at 210. Zielinski, young kid, he's maybe, I don't know, it may need an ID. He's so young. Maybe 20, and he ran 194.
Wow.
Mika Immonen, which is another great player. He ran 184, and somebody ran a 171. I know Fedor Gorst ran 125 and out, and he decided not to continue. He wanted to conserve his energy.
Interesting. That's pretty smart, actually.
Yeah.
So what do you see here? The 1?
Well, he's got to get the stripe off the back rail is the very first thing. So I think he's going to go from the 14. Well, the key thing is what you want to do. Pool is like a picture frame, you know. Even when you divide a table in half, you want to try to clear the outside to make room for the inside balls. I don't like moving the cue ball around a lot, and certainly right now he should be able to make every shot and not go into another ball. But boy, he really made a mistake there. I thought that he would shoot the 14, just come up, sit at a second diamond, roll the 5 in, and that really just eliminates the whole rack.
Right. I'm surprised. I don't know what he was thinking he was going to do there. What do you think he was thinking he was going to do?
I think he was trying to send the cue ball, toward the 1.
But why would you touch the 1? The 1's in a great spot.
Well, when the balls are free, you shouldn't touch anymore.
Right.
And then this is a fatal mistake here.
Yeah, and it cost him.
He overcut the stripe, which is the lower 13 ball, and then lost the cue ball and scratched. That's why I felt that he should have shot the 14 and just come up, to the side of the 2, roll the 5 in, and the rack is done, and this ball the stripe wouldn't have been there anyway.
Yeah, you really don't need to touch the balls unless you're trying to create a break shot, and he already had a break shot, so he just should have.
Well, he had multiple because he had a ball over. He had a ball to lead to the 2, and then the 1 he had the 4 to 7. He could have shot the 2, got positioned straight on the 4. If you're looking at the rack here, would like to say the 4, 2, and 1. When I was young, Varner had told me look for patterns that are in a triangle pattern.
Right.
So you have the 2, 4, and 1 is in a triangle, and such. He's only got to come with one shot here, and the rack is over. I think that relatively 8's going to be okay. So the key thing he's got to do here, he's got an 8-ball table, and he's got a 5-ball in a little funny position.
But he can use the 8 as the key ball, can he? Because that's going to bring him down.
But when you got balls as close as what it is, I wouldn't see why he'd want to. Again, he found a really tough spot here. Why would he do that?
I think he was trying to get position on the 5, thinking that.
Well, the 5 he overran. I think he was even if he goes, he's okay. But why did he have to work so hard?
Yeah.
This ball came up short. He's got to go. He's got to come to 7.
He's got to go 7, 5, and then the 8 down to the.
He can go 7, 8, and then he'll shoot the 5 and go 2 rails in and out and get parallel to the 1.
Oh,
unless he does this.
Did you see him twist his wrist there?
The 2 other shots that he missed, he raised his head up.
And he looked like he wasn't comfortable on that shot. But see, he was playing the 7, 5, and then I don't mind the 8 coming down into the 1 because it's kind of natural.
Well, he's going for the 8 here for sure.
Well, because things change with that 7 ball up there too.
Well, again, I mean, just uncharacteristic misses. At that point, there should be any nerves. He should start to smell the finish line. What do you think? I mean,
being that far ahead, but
and not needing but a few racks to win this particular match. Get parallel to the ball. That's good. Now he can hit these balls with some force here. He can actually follow him. But the key thing is, if you're cutting from his angle, he's cutting the ball from his side, the left corner pocket. If the cue ball is left of the object ball, neither high ball. Depend upon where the angle is actually going into the balls. You would think this could be a high ball, but he can actually probably hit this with some draw.
Well, I would say it's on this side, though. It's on the.
Yeah.
Looking at the
but
screen.
The problem now is at the bottom, toward the bottom of the rack. If he hits high ball, he's got to worry about possibly scratching.
Right.
So he might smash these a little bit with some bottom.
If
not, he's going to use a high inside. I like the draw shot here and just break him open. He should have every ball, almost maybe 3 or 4 that are clustered up as such, and then the rack is there where it's at. So,
see, and what he's doing too is he's hitting it hard enough to not only go up table, but to go up table and come back down, so he's not stuck up the table.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about. You know, it's most commonly the German guys like to draw the ball up table. It's very unorthodox. You know, when I was a kid, we played on cloth that was so slow, and the balls were 5-ounce balls instead of 6, and didn't have Simonis cloth, so the balls didn't break out a whole lot. But we never sent the cue ball up table.
It's a whole different game now, isn't it?
It is. Oh, I love it.
I've never seen, you know, I mean, the way I watched people play, like Alan just picks them out, you know, picks them here, picks them there. These guys just smash into it.
Wow.
And I think that has a lot to do with the equipment, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, controlling the cue ball at as many and often as you can is so important. In this game, you're going to the clusters. You really need to know where the ball's going to end up.
Like this is a good example.
You got to turn the 8 to the side, maybe. You know, what do you think? Or is
Yeah,
it-
it's
well,
easy.
the combo's pretty close, but then he's got a little elevation on the 15. But here comes to the point then. He hasn't put up any balls. In order to get loose, he better start shooting some easy shots that he can and just get some stuff on the board. But he's going to have to go into that 5, 6, 8 sometime or another.
Yeah, now he's got to work around that.
He should go to the 4 ball next year after the 8.
He's not.
Because he's going to go 15-2. The 12 ball's a little high. The 15 ball is slightly low. But the 15's not going to be able to use because of the 10 unless he can get an angle to get to the 10 and leave the 15. But he doesn't have a ball laying on the back real flat, so this could be a little dangerous. You would think if he got an angle here to shoot the 13 then 2, I mean, he might try to get to the side rail here to the 10, not disturb the 15, come one rail and hit directly to the 7 so he goes in between the balls.
Does a 5 go past into the corner? Not the
No.
right corner, but the left corner, past the 6.
Good question. I don't think so. And then from this angle, I don't think it's really going to matter.
No,
I think he's going to go. He's going to cut this 10 and possibly
hit the 6.
Yes, but he's got to make sure that he can hit actually the 6 on any side of it, on the right, the middle, or the left. But he doesn't really. He doesn't want to go into the 7 because then he can scratch.
Well, plus it's not going to open up that 6-5.
Well, this isn't bad, but he's got to turn back around and shoot the 5. I think the 7's a little wide. It looks like.
Well, he's going to let go of the cue ball here.
Well,
a little bit.
there's the problem right now. He's going to try to draw it into the 14 or something, but. Let's see, that 14 is a great key ball now, too. But the problem is, how is he going to get to the 2 and then the 3? So, Does the 7 go here, Dawn?
Yes. Playing the 7 and then the 15.
Or 15 and 6? I'm not really sure from our angle. He might elect to take the 15 ball out now. It's a tough decision. Or go 6-15. Now, don't forget he's got a 4 ball up table, too.
Right. Is he going to use that before the key ball?
I think he might go 15-4 now. And then get an angle where he can shoot the 4 and draw back for the 14 to the side, 2-3, next rack. Just don't fall straight. Well, he could actually fall straight, but he'd like to be able to use on the tighter pocket here, where he can use a little bottom left draw and get the cue ball in a little farther where it's at now, and try to fall straight or just slightly below the 14. I think the cue ball will be about a foot past where he's at now, as such.
Yeah.
All right. He would like to go on a little farther here.
Yeah, he's got an angle now, right?
Yeah, so he's got to use a little top left and hit it easy. These cushions are real responsive. There's a lot of people in the room, so the tables are playing slightly wet, which will be a slower and more responsive table. No, I didn't agree with it.
That's not.
Well,
He didn't feel like he could hold it.
if he can shoot the 12 now, he's good because the 2 is actually a better break ball. But where does the 3 go?
I can't see.
I don't.
I don't like being on the rail.
I mean, I guess he's got to shoot the 2 ball and go 2 rails and decide what ball he's going to shoot next. So it has to be the 3 ball. He's got to carry this ball really long, and have an angle is going to be
Look at
tough.
the scratch. Oh, boy.
Wow. You just never see that happen.
Eesh.
But that angle was so wide.
But I think it's because he got bad on that, the 12. Well, that was his mistake, going from the 4 to the 12.
Yeah.
But even so, couldn't he have drifted down below instead of going into them, worrying about what you're going to get? If you got too much angle
You're talking about from the 2 ball?
from the 12, just in
Oh,
go
the side
behind,
pocket shot.
go
Yeah.
behind the 2 instead of trying to bump into them and create something.
Well, yeah, that would have been a better option because then he could have had. Well, the key thing is this: when the balls are free, you're done bumping almost all the time.
Right.
And especially when the balls are open, and the balls were clearly open, I think at that time should have been done bumping. Upstate Al, are you still there, Upstate Al?
I'm sitting here in the background. What the players do is they have a tablet and they update their own scores. So we're just waiting for Ralph to get done updating the score, and then he'll be at the table.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like your shirt now.
I look like a pumpkin for Halloween, right? I know. I'm waiting for it.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Not on the air.
You would have had the crab legs last night. They would have matched your shirt.
Oh, I envy that picture you posted on Facebook. Here we go. Ralph's at the table.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
It's
so he's gonna
3-1-12.
Yep, 3-1-12.
How did he fall here?
Yeah, I think
He's got to get the cue ball about where he's at now. Put it back in the same spot.
You know,
Wow. I mean, well, he pushed it down farther, but I would not have touched the ball.
he drew too far back on the 3. He didn't mean to do that.
I think both these guys would be happy to get out of this match and regroup themselves.
Yeah, yeah. But he's got the shot, so he just has to focus on that.
I wonder if Al can get us a stat here, what Eckert's run was earlier. It was in the 50s range.
The automatic scoreboards at their work would actually have that, but I don't think that
Well,
all
we
the
can-
players are familiar with
we can-
using them yet.
Yeah, we can figure it out later. I was just curious because I definitely
But
keep track.
everything is recorded. You guys can always go back on Facebook and watch it. And if there's a match like the Thorsten Holman match that you might not see on Facebook, it's actually within a 5-hour time span. So there are a couple of matches there. Go ahead, guys. You just got it.
He missed it. Man, he's got to want to just chew on his stick right now.
What was very strange is when he shot that break shot, he aimed high and kind of aimed out through the middle to punch it. And the key thing with the straight pulls, the ball separating, is you don't want the balls to go into a slide. You want them to try to roll as much as possible when you hit balls forcibly like that. That ball came short of the pocket. When you're hitting a ball hard, you actually got to aim for an overcut because the balls are into a slide before they're going to roll. And he undercut that ball. So a lot of times you want to maybe aim a half a ball over what you normally would. That's my experience.
Right.
You're just ready to get up there and play and start playing, aren't you?
I am. I'm like itching to play this game. He's created a little problem here.
Well, the problem is, man, they go up to the 1 ball.
Would you have taken that
No.
so early? Because there's
No way.
first of all, there's so many open balls,
Yep.
and it's too early to be bumping things because you're bound to get in
And
trouble.
now, if you're going to bump something, do it with a purpose. There was no purpose there. And then he had a ball that was somewhere in a break position. He's moved that ball out of the way. Now he's got to be looking. There's really almost no way to push anything up unless he can get to an angle to the 8 to push the 10 up a little bit. Otherwise, he'd be looking at the back of the rack kind of thing here with the 15 ball for a break ball. But, at this point, he's bumping so many balls, I can't see that one ball's going to stay still the rest of the rack.
Right.
He's going to play the 4-8 off the 5.
Wow.
Unless he shoots it straight, I would play it off the ball if he could. And to be honest with you, he hated to do too much, but he can actually draw back and put the 2 in a break position here if he wanted
He
to.
played it right in. That was a nice
Look at
shot.
the 4 ball pop up here.
That was.
The 4 ball still is in the rack. And what y'all can't see, folks at home, is there is a very almost invisible rack line around where the balls would be racked at. And that 4 ball is in the rack. Just barely. All right, nice. You got a chance here to push another ball here. Do you think he'll try to move her ball here, Dawn, into position for a break shot?
Well, if he does, he's taking the only break shot that he has right now.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, unless the 3. The 3 up top could be a good break shot, actually.
No, he can go 1-3. Ooh, that's a long ways for a shot. You know,
I don't
not
think
so much the balls, but, you know, I was, you know, Mizarek told me many years ago that he likes shooting the break shots, the balls down where they need to be. But he liked the cue ball to be about half table on a lot of his shots because he said it created more energy. I would never guess what he has to say. He won a lot of titles.
Sure.
Not my favorite thing to do. I like to be as close to everything as possible.
I get what he's saying, though. Like, I kind of like to be a little further away.
Well, it gives you time for the ball to get into a roll instead of the ball sliding before it turns over into a roll.
Right. See, now I kind of like the 2-1-3.
I'm not going one rail and try to bump the 4 to the other side. He did
try that, yeah.
Now he's going to be shooting the 4 ball. Unless the 2 goes by. Can the 2 go by? Can he make the 2 ball? If he can make it, he's shooting it. If not, he's going to go to the 4. This has got to be close. He's elevating. Small curve.
Oh,
Look
not.
at now. This is a good shot. That was his best shot of the match.
Okay.
He has got options now. But the first 2 things, he's going to go 12, 6, 4, 1, 3, 11. Oh my gosh, this is not the direction I would go. He's
Why
got
is
ball.
he shooting that all the way up there when he's got a easy way to get to it from the 1?
Well, the problem he had a chance to shoot the 6. Okay, I mean the 12, get to the 6, and then he's got an angle for the 1 and 12, 6, 4.
4, then the 1,
And then he's got
3.
the 1 and 3, and then
Stop.
and perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm looking right here. I'm looking at trying to find a triangle pattern, which is very important. Look at the end of the rack, and I don't really see a
Well,
whole
look
lot.
at the shot he's got right here. He's got to
he's made it
slide
difficult.
over. He's moving the cue ball way too much.
Well, the problem is that 5th or the 11 ball is still close to the rail to get a break ball. This isn't as easy as it looks to get an angle for the break ball. He's got to be taking this 4 ball after this, which may put him into going into the back rail here to get to the 11 ball. Shooting the 4, rolling the 12 on the side and going up and down unless he falls straight on the 12. The one thing you don't want to do is shoot the 4 and end up high to cut the 12 on the side. He wants to be able to be straight in, or he wants to be able to go into the back rail and come over toward the side pocket,
Right.
short of the side for a break shot. Okay. Well, he's going to go up and down. In doing this, though, these guys know the angles, of course. He's going to just short of the side pocket is what I predict here. I don't think he's going to go past the side.
Watch out for the side.
Well, that was the problem. That's why you needed him before it. Good point. Boy, I tell you, that ball really came close to scratch.
It did.
I would have played my angles to just play right at that diamond before the side, took a little longer shot, no chances.
Either that or hit that. Come down and make sure you hit it and take the longer. So you're not coming towards the side pocket.
Yeah, hey folks, this is Bobby, World Pro Chamberlain, along with Dawn Hopkins in the booth. Dawn's excited. The ladies pro event here starts tomorrow, and she's practicing and ready to go. I happened to be in the pool hall last night. I guess it was about midnight, and you were hitting some balls, getting warmed up.
Yep. Tony Robles was giving me some tips.
Wow.
My friend Stu Matana from New York, he's helping me with the game.
Oh yeah, I know.
We haven't really played this game, or at least in the United States, we really haven't played much straight pool. I know there's some players that go over to the Euro Championships and they have straight pool over there, but we really haven't done it since the 90s.
Well, I played a lot of pool in Japan, the all-world 9-ball, some of the things, and did exhibitions and traveled there, and there is absolutely zero straight pool in Japan, and 0 one pocket.
Wow.
It is all rotation.
It's kind of sad.
All rotation.
I think this is a beautiful game, and it teaches you a lot. The best players are the ones that can play all of them.
This is the best tournament in America right here for straight pool for sure. Peter Burrows works hard. He's an older guy that just loves the game. He's his cue sticks were made long before I was born. He has two cues he had Rambo make back in like the 1950. Just amazing, but he loves the game, and a few of us are trying to do what we can to try to help the game. I put together the Legends of Pocket Billiards, which is a new venue, new thing that I'm doing. I had retail stores for 20 years and some other businesses I still own, and certainly excited here to try to give back to pool. I've been trying to do something for 10 years, so. If y'all get a chance, go on Facebook, look up the Legends of Pocket Billiards. Our event starts November 1st.
Good luck with that.
Trying to have the women and men both, break their high runs, and also world records if possible.
And the logo, folks, you'll see it up in the right-hand corner. You'll see the Legends up there also. And all the sponsors that are up in that right-hand corner help this tournament go, including Bobby.
Yeah, well, thank you. I don't have a bunch of sponsors for my event.
And the players,
I'm almost,
of course.
I'm pretty much self-funded, but if anybody's interested in doing some sponsorship, I'm doing everything I can to get everybody involved, and it's short notice. I've been putting this together I started earlier this year, and I've got I'm not a computer guy, but I got some great tech guys. I've got the best camera system I think that's in the business, and I think so many people that are willing to help, and we have a private facility just outside of Washington D.C. in Alexandria, Virginia. Shout out to Streetlights Billiards Academy and Dion Chapman. He's done a lot for pool. Thanks, Dion. And other than that, I'm looking at trying to get these players in to make some money that they haven't possibly seen prize money quite that often since back in the IPT days. So I'm giving it away, and hopefully somebody is fortunate enough to break a world record and get paid nice for it. Women and men. Dawn, I know that you've been around the game. You're still a young lady, but I know you've been around the game a little bit.
Depends who I'm next to.
Well, you're young to me, so.
Good catch.
I'm a smart guy. Anyway, but I put messages out to so many people asking, what is the women's highest run ever? And I don't care about being sanctioned or BCA, just anytime. I figure all runs should count.
I don't know the answer to that question because, like I said, we have been playing 9-ball for my whole career, pretty much, except for maybe one straight pool tournament in New York.
Yeah, I really thought that Jean would have it, but she just didn't ever go for high runs. She was busy winning titles, but I guess by
Kelly Fisher just ran the 135.
Yeah, well,
and that was her high run.
Yeah, I guess. Jasmine has run hundreds many times, and they Europeans, great players. Jasmine Ocean, but by what I've been told, is Lori Johns ran 150, Jeanette ran 156, and Jennifer Chen 158, and I have no way to confirm that except by talking to Lori and asking her, and I haven't had a chance to. I haven't seen her, but I think she playing in the event.
She's supposed to be playing in this event, but she called. She's not feeling well, so she had to cancel out. So she won't be here.
Yeah, I know she recently moved
She's in Texas.
Texas,
now.
right? Yeah. Okay.
But we're really hoping that she's feeling better soon and
Yeah. Please
sending
feel better.
well wishes to her.
Absolutely.
So we have 15 girls, and we have 3 rounds of 5. We're playing round robins.
Right.
So that'll be 4 matches each one, each bracket. And then the top 8, we'll have 2 from each bracket come out. And then the last 2 spots will be from the high points finisher.
I see.
And,
Now,
and then we'll go to single elimination from there.
I know we had a full field, and then Christina Takash had sponsorship situations where she had to travel to Europe. And that opened a spot up. Peter had called me and asked me if I knew any ladies who could play, and we have a member at our academy, Bethany Sykes, who I got a hold of her, and she was glad to take the spot. I'm sorry about Lori Johns. What a great player, and especially straight pool. I mean, she really played that game good.
Yes. So now we have, I contacted Billy Billings late last night, and Billy has been around the game for way longer than me. She actually founded the WPBA, and she's a straight pool player, and she's right in New Jersey, so she said she would come down and fill that spot for us.
I was wondering where maybe like Mary Kensington or one of those players that played also, or I don't know if Robin is still playing or any of those players.
I asked Robin if she was interested, but she's out in California and she's really not playing competitively.
Okay.
So.
There's a few other players I could have thought
Ava
of too.
is not.
That was my
up
next
for
choice.
She's got some. She's kind of retired, semi-retired, so she's not playing. And Joanne Mason Parker, she's getting an award this week out in California, so she wasn't able to attend.
Wow,
But we have a lot of great players in the event. We've got Monica Webb, we've got Pia Fuller, we've got Kelly Fisher.
Yeah.
We have Brittany
Bryant is it?
Bryant is coming from Canada, so luckily the borders were opened up.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks I've spent some time around Pia and Josh Filler, and I can tell you they really take the game serious. That is a dynamite duo, and they're both playing. I know April Larson, I think, is supposed to play, right?
Playing, yeah.
Wow, you know, I never got to see her play until I commentated on a match last week with her and Pia playing. And she really kept her composure at such a young age. I'm impressed. And this girl's got game.
She does, and she's super nice.
Yeah,
like,
a terrific
the combination
person.
of.
I think she thanked me like 30 times, and I was okay.
She's
But,
like, we want 100 of her on the tour.
yeah, that's good. Good young players with good attitudes are really going to help the sport.
Yes.
Hopefully, there's more tournaments here. You know, I noticed that some of these folks that do tireless work streaming, and of course I'm gonna put a shout out to Al for what he's doing. He's going from here to the international to help out also, and he's got a great live stream here.
Thank you, Bobby, for
Picture
those kind
quality,
words.
picture quality is fantastic.
In fact, Mary Kinniston will be down there at the international. I heard you mention her, so she will be there.
Great.
Yeah,
Tell her I said hi.
I will.
Wow, I wish Jeanette was able to play. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, I've heard she's played a little bit of pool. She played in some tournament,
South Carolina?
the Carolinas.
Yeah.
But she told me that she's just not ready for this. She didn't want to commit to this.
And she
then
played.
not.
She has played the game well.
Yes. So I know she would be here if she could, but I think it's just not a good time for her. So Ralph has to watch out here because Lee is catching up slowly but surely. It's quite a big swing from.
Yeah. I remember
Anyway.
Lee Vann running a couple hundred, 260-ish or 80-something in a straight pool challenge at Derby one year. No, you'd like to fall not quite straight on the 15 here.
You know, Dawn, I told Bobby the story, but first time Lee Vann played in a 14.1 challenge, no, a tournament. I got a chance to talk to him. I said, hey, Lee Vann, I said, how do you like the game of straight pool? He says, too easy. He says,
Easy?
because we're in the Philippines, they play rotation, you know, all that traffic on the table, you know, going in numerical order. He says, I can play any ball I want, too easy. Guess what?
Not too easy.
He won the tournament.
Oh, he did.
He
win the
did.
tournament.
He won that tournament.
Yeah, over there, it's a little different. I've been over there too. You know, I interviewed Efren a few months ago. He had came to our academy, and I did a couple interviews with him. And you know, arguably, he might be the GOAT. You know, could very well be the greatest player ever to play. I mean, he's certainly in the top few for sure because he played a lot of games, but he didn't play much
Definitely
straight.
colorful. Yeah.
But he never played much straight pool. And I asked Efren, I said, what is your high run? He says, Bobby, I'm not played much, you know, so over there we don't have, you know, he was explaining to me everything. And he said his high run was like 130.
Wait, did he say it just like that?
Just, yeah, that's how I talk. I talk like Efren.
Yeah, sounded exactly like him.
I get lucky. Anyway,
I love Efren.
Yeah. But anyway, I had offered him a chance at some money, you know, in my event, and he gracefully accepted. It's just a matter of scheduling and going through the process. I've got so many players right now that are in the process of playing. It's just hard to keep the schedule going. So they're going to be playing minimum of 5 days at a time at my event, straight, no interruptions, no other players. So these guys are going to be warriors.
Okay, he's got a break shot.
Okay. So we'll update the score here, folks, when we get a chance. The players are updating it, and then Al will update it.
I think Ralph has made several key mistakes there that I'm sure he's upset about, and that's let Van Lee back into the game.
Well,
Lee
you know,
Vann.
he's
Van
within
Lee.
50 balls here, so if it'd be 51 balls. So if you do the math, he doesn't have to get through the fourth rack. Because it'd be 56, it'd be 130. So he's got to clear 3 full racks in the fourth rack. If he's able to take off the sheet, he doesn't have to have a break ball or nothing. So I had predicted earlier, but he's had some surprising misses done. So see if he can keep it together and really get into the 7-3 here. And he did. Well, he
He's
had
got
a shot.
He does have a shot.
He's got to come with a little combo maybe here to start it off. Do you see what do you see for shots here, Don?
Well, he only has the combo or that long 3-ball shot. Is that the 3 up the table? Yeah.
So the 12 doesn't pass by then?
No, I don't think so.
He'd like to not play the combo. The problem he has
Yeah.
is, does the 5, 7, or 4, any of those balls even go into the other corner over here? So if he shoots the combo, he needs to hang the 12 in the hole.
And he did. He did a good job there.
Right. Well, he can get back across the table and play the 4, but, you know, I definitely would not. I don't like shooting the 14. I don't like shooting balls more than 4 or 5 feet. But these guys are pretty accurate. Nice logo hit. And then, so he's got to decide what to do here. When you're not sure, the center of the table is generally a safe place.
Well, if he goes across for the 4,
No, I would have never hit
that
another
is
ball.
not. No, that's
Can
not.
he make the 14?
Was he trying to do
Can he make the 8?
If he was trying to do that, where's his safety ball?
He doesn't. He thought he's got so many balls. The problem is these balls down here really
They don't go.
They don't go.
Well,
Right.
the 4 goes if you're on the correct side, but
He's got an 8 and 9 ball position now, but he's got to work to even clear the rack.
see, I thought there he would have used a little inside and come over and played the 4, but
I might get to the 4 next. I'm not sure. Now he's felt good, but
Yeah.
the key thing here is going into these balls. I don't think he's going to be able to nip the 5 and just leave it flat and get a shot. He's got to make a decision. The decision I would do is I would use some little bit of bottom right, just barely draw off that 7 ball to open up the 5. I would not have hit it that hard, but he didn't want to take a chance. So.
right,
But you see how the 7 popped up,
Yeah.
and if he hit it easy, the 5 would have been laying right there.
right.
Now, one hint, folks, I can tell you the 5-ball, I like leaving a ball on the bottom rail. Try to play half-table games. Grady Matthews taught me that when I was younger. Leaving a ball, leave it on his own on the back rail is a big advantage because you can always have a bailout just about all the time. So just something to keep in mind for the amateurs out there playing the game. It's not going to stay there long now, though.
Now he's getting rid of it now.
Yeah. Well, all the balls are free.
Oh, no, he's
Dawn,
getting-
I think at this point, you know what you think, but I don't see any reason he should ever bump another ball here.
I agree. I agree. Now he's gonna go, what's he? He's gonna bump something now.
No.
Oh, okay. It looked like it had more of an angle than it did.
Well, he's going to go 11-3 and then make some decisions on what he's going to do after that. Well, he's going to come back the other way and go 9.
Go 9 and then this.
Well, it depends upon how he falls for the 7.
Yeah.
See, I don't like going from the 3 to the 1. The distance there and getting the right angle. What happens if he would fall a ball on the inside where he couldn't get an angle to get to the 8? Like even forcing it to the rail. Like say, like if the cue ball ended up maybe 2 more inches to the side here, how is he going to get to the 8? So now, I mean, he's fell flat on the 7. He's got no choice. I think he's gonna go 7, and just take an angle to the 3 and take what we can get on the 1 ball. If he puts the cue ball, goes 2 rails here and puts it toward the
Yeah,
center,
you're
then
right.
he'll be okay. If he tries to get too cute here and he ends up having to back cut the 1 ball, it's not going to.
That's not good. That's the
That would
worst. You
be-
got to be on the left side of the table.
Needs to be more center
minimally.
table.
Yeah.
Well, how's this? That's a little bit what I was worried about.
That's
I
not
said
good.
because if he fell like a couple inches over, he'd be at an angle we'd have to force it. He could end up trading balls here if he's not sure too. But he's really going to have to whack this ball to get off the rail. Well, he was able to draw it back.
Okay. Oh,
Well, that ball is parallel. Okay.
this is pretty good, though. I thought he had more of an angle. I thought what you said. It looked from here like he had to push it over. And I don't like that shot. I don't like to have to punch it like
Well,
that.
let's see where the angle is coming into the balls. If he's going into the top or the second ball, or how he's going to be able to hit this. We'll know as soon as he racks. So it could be in between both of them. Okay, well, you realize that if the cue ball is away from the pocket you're shooting more than the object ball, then you tend to use more higher ball and rack. The problem with this angle is he's going to hit possibly between the 4 and 15. He's got to be careful not to scratch in the bottom hole. So he might hit this with a little draw, just medium speed. That's what I would think. I don't think he's going to smash it.
He's smashing it. Oh,
Well, there's the problem.
That's a bad kick,
Well, this
though.
is the thing. Whenever you smash in the rack, you have to compensate for the overage because the ball's going to have some slide in it. And that's exactly what happened. You know, he put himself right back in the match, basically just tied the score, where he can, you know, he's within basically a couple racks of closing it out. And he made a fatal mistake. And I think, you know, as straight as the guys shoot, I just don't think that they, not knocking them, just don't think they know the game enough to do the right things at the right time. They just haven't been exposed to it. I mean, there's no way he should have hit that ball that hard. He was trying. They're so talented they can break up small clusters. Why would they want to kill them and just try to get them all free at one time?
Well, that's why I said, like when Al said, he said it was easy and then he won the tournament. But now look at the way that this match has gone.
It's completely different.
It doesn't look like it's easy for him.
I think both these players play at a much higher level, though.
That's brutal right there.
And
Look what happened, though.
wow. I
He
think
got really lucky. That was,
well, Lee Vann was shooting for a while. Maybe Ralph has suffered from the chair bruises from sitting down a little bit. I don't know. I mean, that was uncharacteristic. I mean, he hit the ball into the rail.
Jack Colavito gave me some really good advice once. He said, if you're sitting in a chair for a long time, he says, instead of getting back up at the table and just shooting the next shot, He said, just go to the side on the table and just stroke your arm back and forth.
Oh, loosen
Just
up?
Loosen up, loosen up, loosen up, and then get down and shoot.
Well, I can tell you what I would have done. I would have got right up, took a walk, took a break, let the other players savor on the mistake that they made so they can steam a little more, and then get up and run the set out.
Oh, see, I don't like to play the head game thing.
Well, it isn't so much that as the fact of getting to the table to loosen himself up. He's been sitting down.
Yeah.
Ralph, most players will take a break in a match. They haven't taken one. I think it was due, especially when you have a tight match. At the end of the game, both players are basically inside of 35 balls to win the match. I think a break time would have been perfect. It just had a lot of variables that added into the timing to do it.
And I think what happens is you're so like anxious to get back to the table, and you're just you know your capability, and you think you're just going to jump in there and play your capability and run.
Ralph jumped up
set
there and
up.
basically two-stroked that ball. Look at this. Is he going to screw?
Wow.
You know, and he called that ball is the worst part about it. So if he would have made that,
What's
what
it
would have
got?
happened?
Well, he was playing it to play safe, because obviously he wouldn't have left the cue ball there if he was
Well,
just.
let me tell you what he can do. He can just roll the cue ball here on the back of the 12 and just take a foul. It's only 1 point. And from that angle, it would be tough for Lead to play another safe to where he wouldn't leave a safe opportunity or a shot. I think he's going to
gonna
try to
take it
cut
down.
this 12 ball. Well, he hit this well.
Wow.
He hit this well.
That was a
His
great shot.
Even I got a clap for that.
Yeah. That was like way harder than the one he missed a minute ago.
Now, I call it pea-picking the rack. You don't really have a plan. Just get rid of some balls here. Get them out of the way.
Get your stroke going.
Yeah, get rid of these balls on top of the table here. The 8-14, 13-1, get rid of them. Get away from the rack down here and get rid of that stuff up table. You don't need it anymore.
He can't. Can he go by?
7 balls is the only thing I see.
Okay.
Here's a shoot. I like shooting a 7 and going out 2 rails and just tapping the 10. Then, you know, if you hit it square, you'd been fine for the 9. But he's got some decisions here to make, and I hope one of them isn't the combo here.
Oh, he's taking the 5?
Well, he's going to be going up table now.
I don't know.
This ball fell short now too. Does a 3 go?
Well, he's good now because he can play this one and then play the 9. Get that 9.
Well, he
out
should
of
draw
there.
back. He should have played a 3 ball right then. Is the 3-4 combo dead? I don't know what he's got going on. What's he going to do with the 2 and 6? Is the 3-4 dead? And if it is, he doesn't have any movement to break the 2 and 6 out unless he runs the cue ball into him.
Well, if he's gonna,
I mean, if the 3 even passes in the lower corner, what does it open up?
I think he's gonna play the. Would he play the 3 in the side after like the?
No, the 4.
Oh, he must have
I
the
don't know if the 4
combination.
ball's dead. Maybe
Right?
I'm not sure. I hope he's not taking out the 11 ball. Drawing into these balls.
That's what he's doing.
He's
And
either
he's
drawing
gotta
it.
watch
He's either
out for
all
the-
ball fouls. So he's either drawn into this ball or just gonna figure it out later. But see now, he's got the 2 ball maybe, but he had a perfectly good break ball.
See, I thought he was gonna roll down from not the break ball, but the other one, roll down and play the 3 in the side because it went in the side, didn't it?
Yeah, all you had to do was just roll down and come over
then
here.
he-
Then he could tap it out and push something toward
Right.
maybe get a break ball. The 2 and 6, he could have pushed the 4, but there was no problem off of the top of the 6.
But he is a much better player than I am, so I'm just saying.
Well, you know, Ralph's. Ooh, he 4-railed it. Now Ralph has written a couple books on pool too. I don't know if you know that.
So what's he gonna do now about those balls up top?
Well, he's going to leave a 2 and 6, and then he's just going to go after these balls now. So he's obviously going to. I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know because he's so unconventional right now. About leaving the 2 balls a break ball, so you'd want to shoot the 6 and actually freeze the cue ball to the back rail to leave him the widest angle you can.
It's not an ideal break shot, but
And he'd like to be close to it. You know, if you're looking, folks,
Now oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I think if when he gets to the 6 ball, he'd like to get an angle to where he is only maybe within a foot of the 2 ball. He doesn't. Wow, and that one he almost missed.
But look at where he left himself.
Well, now he's got to go across, and he's got to go into the 2nd rail to get an angle. So he's going to come here, hit this ball, lay flat, and come over here.
This is hard to do.
Because if you leave the ball above the 2, you know, those are the shots that you get stuck in the pack with.
He's got to do it without scratching,
he's
without
gotta go
hitting the 2.
2 rails with the cue ball here. He's going to be too close.
No. I was going to say before, if it's so difficult to get down to that, why wouldn't you just use that 14 is that not a good break shot?
All from the top of the table?
I mean, because what was it, Niels? I was watching something that Niels was doing, and he said a lot of the players liked using, like, the center.
Well, the reason for that, the new way of the Europeans playing is they want to hit the rack and explode the balls from the beginning. They don't want to play the old patterns where they're breaking out a little bit at a time. They want to get them all busted up from the beginning like you're breaking a rack of 8 ball. And that's why a lot of them like to use a side pocket, because the cue ball has so much energy when it hits the rack. From that distance, the ball isn't sliding anymore. It begins to roll, and then it can bust into the rack and spread them apart.
So for that reason, would that not have been a better choice where the 2 is so tight to the rail?
Well, I think the mistake really, possibly, but I think the mistake really was when he had the 11 ball in the play over here, that he should have left that ball. Or, like you saying, the shot maybe the roll 2 rails and played a 3 on the side and pushed the 4 and 6 into a break position. So
now he's got to play it safe.
Well, I'm going to let you all know something. I know a secret how to make this 10 ball in the side pocket, cross side from here, but he's playing safe. Did he hit a rail? This is going to be important. He did not hit a rail.
Well,
he is on 1 foul, which is way more important than the 1 ball.
And I'm kind of, again, I'm a little surprised because he drew back instead of leaving a better angle where he didn't have to worry about the cue ball moving when it hit the pack.
Yeah, well, the other thing, too, if he would have shot the 2 ball and drew back and maybe thinned the balls and put the cue ball table, as a straight pool player, you don't want to do that. The distance is nice, but there's always that 1 ball that can line up. And if a guy hits that, especially at this point of the match, it's fatal. The match will end.
So instead of drawing back, if he stopped it more towards that center line, instead of drawing it beyond that,
and then go square
and
into
then
the
go
bonus.
square.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to worry about not hitting a rail.
Well, you know, Ralph has that experience where Lee Vann may not, but he didn't make that decision. I mean, that was a good decision to make.
Also, maybe the balls weren't as frozen
Well,
as
if he was
thought.
going to draw back, what he should have did maybe is come over here and thin the end of the rack, hit the cue ball to the side rail, and come back not to the middle diamond, to the far diamond. So that way the end ball wouldn't have been, it would have popped up here, and the rack would have blocked it, so you wouldn't have had a shot.
Just seems like a lot harder than not drawing it back and going straight in.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't like hitting I don't like hitting the rack like that, because it spreads the balls out, and if you leave a guy a dead ball, a lot of times you can lose a match. So
I mean, it does cut off their options of safeties, but
well, that's what you want to do.
there's a lot of danger involved in that. So
Well,
he's just going to take a foul, which is, why wouldn't you? Because of that.
Well, Carl, our tournament referee, is right on top of it. I don't know if y'all can see Carl. He's every bit of 5 foot and 1/4 inch, but he's on top of the table here to be able to see make sure the players are not fouling. Carl's done a fine job. I had to take over the reins one time for the U.S. Open 9-ball tournament as a tournament director after the first day, and Carl was a referee that did a fine job.
Oh, that's a pretty good shot there.
Yeah, that may have been his best shot, actually, of the match, because safety sometimes are just as good as anything else.
Yeah.
A good save can be a good victory.
But now what I see, though, is that Lee Vann didn't do a good foul. You know, he fouled it.
Yeah, he's on 1
But
foul.
he didn't put Ralph in a bad position for the safety. He put him in actually.
Yeah, if you're going to
gave
take
him
a
the
foul,
ability.
take advantage of it the most that you can. Now, he's in a position here. Can he bank the 10, or is he going to try to play safe? If he's playing safe, it's on the back rail. He's going back into the stack.
Right.
Don, this may have been just pretty much the same shot that Ralph has, the same position.
Well, if he can see the 8, he can just stick the ball right there. Right, push the 8 out.
Oh, on the back of the 7, you're saying? Yeah, I like that. I don't know. My mind is already setting right now. I'm thinking to myself, wow, that 13's a good break shot. There's so many balls left on the table.
Yeah, I think it's a little too early to be thinking
Oh, yeah.
about that.
I'm always thinking that. I like your shot here with the 8, but the problem is if he can't stick it, what can he do? He's going to have to take a foul himself, maybe.
I don't know why he couldn't. Why would he have to take that foul instead of sticking it?
Well, now, what I would do, I would just take another one right behind it if I was Lee Vann. I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd jump right up there and just tap that ball. Well, Lee Vann's a nice guy. Look, he's laughing and he's having fun.
They go in to 125, right?
Yeah, I'd honestly, if I'm Ralph, I don't mind just going in 3 foul here. You lose 3 points and 15 points and take my chances. The match is close.
Well, he's only on 1. Is he on 1?
They both are on 1.
Right. Okay. See, I don't know.
But
I'd
Ralph
love to
would
get in-
have to foul out first.
I'd love to get into his mind and ask him, why didn't you just stick it instead of being in this position now?
This isn't always easy to do, just to tap the ball. Ralph is again laughing. When you get this close, it's funny. Now, I can tell you, this happened in a match one time. I was playing, matter of fact, in this tournament, where I was toward the middle rack and I got stuck with Danny Baruti. And you cannot tap the top of the ferrule. You actually have to make contact with the leather. And I did, but it was so close that we were both laughing about it.
So what's the ref? The ref is looking.
They're just not pushing through it. They're actually trying to make a legal shot. And even if they didn't, that's kind of like a
Yeah,
ticky
what's the
rule.
difference? It's a
Because
foul anyway.
That's
right?
exactly right. I mean, that's. But
Oh wait, there is a rule that you lose more. I can't remember now. You lose more if you, like, let's say he pushed through.
well, even if you hit the top of the ferrule, to be honest with you, the way it used to be in the world tournaments was, not only did you get a foul, you get a warning for.
Sportsmanship, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
But I think if you push through, let's just say they weren't so careful, and let's say they kind of pushed into with the tip on there. Isn't there some more points that they would get taken away because it's? I'm gonna have to. I'm
it could
gonna
be an
have to look at that
unsportsmanlike
one.
conduct warning. I don't know where that would be at. I guess 2 warnings, you lose the match. I mean, 2 events, you lose the match.
Because the ref,
Sort of like a low blow in boxing.
yeah, because the ref is up there for a reason. He knows that they're going to foul.
Yeah.
So
Well, what was interesting was is that it is the. Wow, he really misses me. What was really interesting, Don, to me was that it's the incoming player's responsibility to tell the other player they're on 2. And Lee Vann didn't tell Ralphie was on 2. The referee did. I mean, I've always known that the referee calls the hits, but the referee telling the other player they're on 2 without the other player telling them. Because it's such a responsibility for the other player to let them know. But it's okay for the referee to do that in my mind. It's okay.
I thought the referee was supposed to be the one doing that because he's reffing the match.
Well, the other problem is, but you don't have referees on every table.
So the ones that don't have a ref on it, though, the players are responsible. But I think when you're on a table with a ref who's specific for that
Yeah.
table.
It's kind of a ticky thing. And
Yeah.
again, I like that 13 as a break ball, but like you said, there's so much opening. He's looking at maybe the 9 ball being dead. The problem is he'd have to go into the 6 if he's going to take it now. Can he pull any more balls off? You want to try to pull a lot of balls off before you can start going into something, but
Well, I think he just wants to shoot a shot that's that he's not gonna miss.
he
Number
could end up
one, he's
going
got
into
to
the 8 ball here, 2 rails off the 14.
he's got to stay at the table right now.
Well, again, why bump? You don't have to. Now, at one point, it's going to cost these players a match, and I don't know when it's going to happen, but You would have had to break my knuckles to do what he just did.
So you would have taken the 13, and then
Well, I mean, that was the open ball, and then at that point I could have drawn back and clear out the 1 and 3, and then use the 6 ball possibly as something, to go into the rack somehow, because the 6 ball was actually lower down here and had a pocket in the bottom corner. All right, well,
what's he doing?
what is going on here? You have any idea,
He's
Dawn?
going to play he's going to play this in the corner.
Did he call the 11 ball combo? Is that what we're
Yes,
looking at? So
he did.
So
This
the referee's
is-
looking at a double tip. He's going to elevate, I guess, pretty good, right?
Well, wouldn't he have an option to play that safety on the
He's shooting this ball.
on the 13?
Yeah, certainly, and that would be a good thought.
But this is-
He's looking at hitting this and throwing the ball using an inside English.
He doesn't look like he's going.
These
for the
balls can
combo.
miss by a lot or even hang.
Oh my
Wow, what a
gosh, that
shot
was.
to come with at that time.
I got to clap for that one.
Yeah,
That was.
I think in straight pool they
Gutsy.
do the snap.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Everybody's clapping over there, so I'll
Yeah,
clap.
no, I don't mind clapping. Wow, again.
Yeah. Don't take anything for granted.
You like to, in this game, you don't want to break your momentum. But if he gets through this rack, I would recommend him getting some fresh air for 5 minutes and come back and collecting his thoughts and trying to close the match out.
Do the Jackie Gleason move
Yeah,
in the bathroom.
yeah.
Wash your face.
I got a good story about that. Not Jackie Gleason, anyway. There was a guy from upstate New York named Arthur Cranfield. They called him Babe.
Cranfield,
They
yeah.
called him Honest Babe. I only met him twice. I was so young. But anyway, this guy used to practice for high runs, and he has the highest unofficial run of 768 balls. But anyway, he ran 420, which is exactly 30 racks. He missed his break ball. He went to the bathroom, washed his hands and his face, had a steak and cheese sub, and drank a soda. Or, I'm sorry, an iced tea is what the guy told me. Went back the next inning and ran 423 the same day. The greatest stat probably in the history of straight pool. So anyway, of course we'd all love to see that. But when you're talking about a break can happen at a great time for you. Now, it looks like the 8 ball might be tied to the 7 where it doesn't go. So he's got a little work here. He's got to do something. And again, bumping. I would have played this ball and gone over here to the last diamond and played the 5 and then gone into him because you could hit the top of them.
Yeah.
These diamond tables are really tough to shoot in the
They
side
are
pocket.
tough.
This is an open shot, though. But what next? Another tough shot?
But he's kind of created some mess there.
Well, I mean, he might be in a position where he has to bank a ball here. And hold on a minute. And then what? There's my question. And then what? Wow,
Well, we're
what
gonna
a
find out
shot.
what
What
now.
a shot. No, he's dead perfect. He's got a small triangle. He's going to shoot the 8 ball, draw
Yeah.
back a few inches, get straight to the 9, and draw the cue ball
Yeah.
parallel to the 7, and he's breaking the next rack.
But man, he made that hard and scary.
I mean,
He got through it.
I can tell you how many times I've banked the ball in my highest runs. 0. You just don't do it often. You don't put yourself in that position, and you fall below the balls. That happens.
What are they saying now?
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe they're just confirming the numbers.
I don't know what the rule is. I know that you're doing a lot of the women's stuff about taking breaks on other players' turns. And it's just not a typical thing that happens unless you have an agreement. The players have an agreement beforehand.
Oh, for us, for the women?
Yeah.
No, if somebody takes a break, you can go during their break.
Yeah. But Lee Vann couldn't interrupt the match here and go take a break on his own. Now, here's the key thing. Always know how many you need. I'm playing straight pool.
Yes.
He needs 12. There's no break ball that's needed. There's the Germans like to draw this cue ball. And
He had a lot of English on there.
yeah, he definitely hit it strong. He's going to have to cinch this 8 in, and then from there, he don't even have to mess with the 9, but it is loose. I believe he should shoot. I'm thinking he should shoot. Well, he maybe has the 12 ball. If he's smart, he would never go into the pack until the end of the rack.
Right. I mean, he's got.
Well,
So
turn
which
around,
ball
turn
are
around and
you-
shoot the 9 now. He should. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Which ball are you using to go into the rack? That.
Well, I
if
mean,
you
there's
do the-
something on the bottom rail. I can't quite see it yet.
Yeah, but there's not a safety ball back there. If he.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
there
it's
is.
the
there is.
14. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I didn't
See, I like
see
going.
that 3.
Yeah. See, I like going the 6 and bounce out for the 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got an angle.
Roll
now.
forward just slightly, just a little bit, and then play the 14 into the 2 and 5 for
Yeah.
the break.
Yep. There it is.
Well, that now he rolled a little farther than he wanted to.
I think he's okay.
Oh, he's okay. Yeah. I mean, he's got to hit the 5 solid though.
Oh, he
didn't
came
hit
up
the 5.
higher than the 5
He didn't hit the 5.
because he hit
Okay.
it harder.
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot the 5 ball now neither. I would.
He doesn't need these open now because he only needs.
He's got to leave 3 balls.
Right.
So the idea, although you'd like to shoot the 1 now, he's going to shoot the 11. Then he's going to punch out for the 5, or he's going to barely spin down for the 3. I think he's going to spin for the 3 if I had to guess. Okay, just don't fall straight. Ooh, well,
We
hold on a
could
minute.
play the 5 in the side next.
Ooh, I think the idea right now is get to the center of the table and get some opening shots. Find your way to the center of this table.
If you can, yeah. There he goes.
Find your way to the
Ooh,
center.
That's scary right there. That was scary. He's going to have to take the easy shot here.
Well, it's not easy when you've got to shoot the length of the table. He's 3/4 of a table here. He's got to bear down and really just cinch this ball. This is his game ball as far as I'm concerned. I felt that was his game ball.
He's got to play the.
No, he's gonna. I
The
think he's gonna
1,
play the 1.
and then the 8, or the 5.
Yeah, 1, 5, 8, and the match is over. Oh, wow, unless there's something else that we see, and I don't like this either.
Oh, too far.
One last little go into the cluster, you know.
Yeah, it was too far.
So he's looking at this now. So he's going to shoot this, bump into the 2, hit down on it lightly. The ball's going to go toward the bottom rail a little bit.
Doesn't
And bounce
matter.
out.
Yep, but he's got the 8.
Well, you're right, and that's what he better be shooting.
He didn't want to, though.
No, this is his game ball if we did the math right.
See, I thought if he was coming off instead of when he played that 1, come up for the 8 because there was quite an angle on that shot.
Yeah.
So then he could easily have gotten from the 8 to the.
Well, we know 1 ball he's not shooting, the 13.
He's got to shoot this 8
But
ball.
he will look at it though. I think he likes the 13 better than he does the 8.
Really?
Wow, I want to shoot closer to me.
Well, maybe these diamonds. This is a tough shot for the match.
Oh, sure. I agree with you.
Good
he
shot.
came with it.
Very good shot.